welcome, good to this edition of Strong Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with Juquarry and Damon Armstrong. We welcome you to our hour, hour or so, even though sometimes we go 2 hours because the conversation is stimulating. This is a conversational show. You know what I mean? Sometimes we might get a little controversial, but the thing about controversy is you get more out of it if you talk about the controversy more than argue about the controversy. So, guys, if you're tuning in, you make sure that, show us some love on our YouTube channel. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great content in it. Great individuals have shown up for us, showed up and showed out for us. You make sure that you go check them out. We've been doing this a year and a half strong, doing our thing. You know what I mean? Having the ball. And really and truly, I'm proud of the fact that this is what we're doing. I hope you ain't hear that burp yet. But, Juquarry, how you doing today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a long work week, and trying to unwind and get the weekend started right. But everything's cool.
Okay. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. Trying to come up with creative ways for me and my wife to be empty nesters.
Okay.
You know,
You see that? I think I have a couple more years before I can even utter that word. You know what I'm saying? You and Juquarry, y'all been doing your thing, and y'all learning how either your wives are learning how to like you or you learning how to like them. You know what I'm saying? Always gonna be there, but like takes work. You can quote me on that, but I tell you what, man. Damon, when we were off air, you had a couple of different that you asked us, and we'll try to tackle both of them. But why don't you start off with asking the one that you most want to talk about?
we talked about a lot of stuff, man.
You were just talking about it before we
You were
came on
just
here.
talking about it. Do you need time to form the question? Because I can.
Remind me, man, because like I said, I got a lot of stuff going through my head right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
In
Well,
terms of you
go
talking about
ahead.
in terms of what's happening around the world and stuff like that.
It was something
Yeah,
to the
that's one
effect
of
of
them.
Yeah,
something
because
to the
I'm saying we
effect
hit a
of
lot of topics.
something to
Well,
the
the
effect
most
of
recent one, when
that.
we talked about,
Damn,
how did you call? I mean, yo,
I was about to say it.
okay.
Can I?
I'm sorry to have stepped on your raw nerve, my guy. So let's go.
I ain't no raw nerve. I just want to be able to finish. That's all.
I
But never
mean,
mind.
he and I were
Never
going
mind.
back and forth.
No,
Never
bro. Okay,
mind.
I'm
Not gonna
grasping on that, man. You need to go ahead. And let me know, man, because I'm on the
No,
spot
you
right
was
now.
talking about you was talking about how you know the middle class basically is affected by what's going on in the world. I mean things about your children's
Yeah, exactly,
expectations and
exactly. Thank you, bro. What I was saying is that when I speak to my kids, you know what I'm saying, and I ask them the question, what is it that's most important to you guys? And their thing is, okay, when we went to the polls and we made a decision about who we expect to do something for us, it hasn't been met because with the student loan situation, how can you say, you invoke the Supreme Court and all this stuff about making decisions and stuff like that, and say, well, hey, he don't have the executive power to do that, and plus we don't have the money and all the other things that's being talked about. But then you send $100 billion over here and $100 million over there, and then expect those kids who went through college, who are taxpayers, have no choice. You know what I'm saying? The money is going whether they agree with it or not. The money is going there, and at the end of the day, everything that was promised is not being fulfilled. It's not being, the government is not, doing their part of it. So they're sitting around and they're counting money. You know what I'm saying? Ways and means. They're counting money. Where are funds going as opposed to supporting us in a position where now just imagine this, fellas. If you at least help out with the student loan situation, right? You got people who are putting money into the economy, who made sacrifices to get education and all that stuff, who's in debt, who still living with their parents, who hasn't bought their first car, who wants to buy a home with their spouse or whatever, and they can't do that because there's no aid or there's no support there. But they can send money overseas willy-nilly and say, hey, you know what, accept that and whatever. You know what I'm saying? What stimulates an economy, man? People spending money. You see what I'm saying? People spending money. So most young people I talked about was, man, if I can just get a break, at least get graduated payments, I can go out and buy a car. Think about how many of those young people can do that situation and stimulate the car industry. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Or the housing market. Or people who renting houses. You know what I'm saying? Putting money into the economy, but they can't do that because other situations are deemed more important than these college students who need a break, and then the government wanted to convince them that, well, we have to promote democracy around the world. You want to promote democracy, you do that shit at home first. You know what I'm saying? You get people inspired. You get people inspired where they're at, and then spread all around the world or whatever. But yeah, the young people, man, they don't want to hear. They're not gonna support Biden, man, because he didn't keep his promise. They're not going to support him because they're struggling. I mean, really struggling. I got 3 who, trying to live the dream and trying to support buying homes and stuff like that, and it's all conflicted, man, and it don't really make sense. And I think that they should really talk to the young folk and see what's really happening because they're the future, man. And it doesn't involve helping conflicts around the world,
I think, man. I mean, they're not the only ones, man, who feel duped. I mean, seriously, you think about not only the black middle class, man, but the middle class structure across this country. Period, man. The middle class, we become the lower class. Everything
That's
that
true.
our parents aspired to, but didn't quite reach or whatever. When we achieved those things, they moved the goalpost on us. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's really hard to define personal success nowadays. Especially when you have the specter of social media hanging over everybody's head. Everybody's comparing their lives to just unattainable fucking fruits and shit, or unattainable baubles and stuff, and cars and homes or whatever, man. But it's a very low percentage of people who actually are able to achieve that, and when they do, it's anybody's guess as to how long they keep it. I mean, we used to be a country of innovation and I want to say sustainment. Is that a word? No, but we used to be able to get something going and keep it going for a long time. From a very low level. I don't know of any other country you could go to, man, and have a dream or have a skill and say, well, I'm going to be self-sufficient and I'm going to build this on my own and create my own personal empire. I don't see a lot of room for us being able to do that, or young people being able to do that anymore. You know, we're all enamored with the new and improved, but everything's already been invented. What could we possibly have a need for nowadays? And a group of young people or a young person that has an innovative idea on how to address that need and find resources for it. It's become entertainment, man. Look at the Shark Tank. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that show or shows like it, but they
I know
get
what you're
on
talking about.
there and they critique very good ideas in some cases, and they shit on them. So I mean, yeah, you can't tell me you're going to provide this opportunity or the possibility for this opportunity, and then once I'm standing in front of you, splayed out for the world to judge, and you crucify me because of some small details. You ain't doing nothing but burning down people's dreams.
Entertainment is what it is. Um, Let me ask you a question, Juquarry. Damon talked about student loans, right?
Hmm.
How did you use paying back your student loans to your benefit, or did
uh for me, it was more so it's more so an obligation because I took those loans, and the benefit was just, well, yeah, let me walk that all the way back. Without those loans, I couldn't have went to college. I mean, it's as simple as that.
you? Okay.
There was no other resources I had, at my disposal in order for me to make that happen. So when Uncle Pell Grant came around, and Uncle and Auntie FAFSA came around and said, "We got this money for you." Shit, I signed on the dotted line for the maximum, you
Uh
know.
huh.
And I know a couple other people who done the exact same thing, but they have regrets about it. I don't have any regrets about it, man. I don't have any regrets about it. Now, would I like for those loans to be alleviated, even forgiven? Absolutely, because there is a scenario that exists in this country where people who work and serve the public, their loans can be forgiven. Unfortunately, my position is not one of those positions.
So you being, and you can chime in on this too, Damon. You being up to date on payment of your student loan, did it help your credit score at all?
It did, but I mean, you got to take into account COVID, man. COVID, basically suspended everybody's student loans.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm looking at that as a doggone arrearage, man. Because I still, excuse me, I still got to pay that money, and the penalty is that I got to pay that money. You know what I mean? But my
Okay.
over
Go ahead, finish.
no, I'm saying my overall sentiment is, it's one of those double-edged sword situations, man. You know, because they're going to get their money, no matter what I say.
Exactly.
But on the other side of that coin, man, as I said before, without that money, I couldn't have done what I did.
Damon, what about you?
My thing is this: if you take out a loan, you are required to pay that back. Man, that's just basic principles and facts, man. Paying it back. You know what I'm saying? It's good faith. You know, My thing is, don't bring up the subject of taking care of the student loans if that's not your if you don't have good intentions, man. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you got people that's living in basements in their parents' house and shit like that, and they say, man, if they can get rid of my student loan, hell, I can go out and buy me a car. I can get me an apartment. You know what I'm saying? All these different things. So don't dangle that carrot if that's not good intention. And those who sit around and talking about Bill Maher, you know, he has this strong opinion about paying back student loans, but you went to Columbia, and then you want to parse the shit about, well, when I went to Columbia, I sold weed to get through college. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, so you 60-something years old, motherfucker, and tuition at Columbia is what, 54 goddamn dollars a goddamn credit hour? Fuck you. You understand what I'm saying? Here it is. You got young kids who's being told that you're not going to get a good job that's going to give you a good job that's going to get you a good life unless you have this degree. You can't have a good decent life. So you convince them that taking out these loans is going to, you know, give them a good life or whatever. So you in essence, you're not giving them a choice, so they have to do it. And when they do it, they up in the tuition at all the different colleges and shit. You could go to a college for 1 year, and 1 year the tuition is $60,000 damn dollars.
You know, at one time, you know, it was free up until the mid '60s.
Yeah, $54,000 to go to this college for one goddamn year, and then they say, well, then they get into all this bullshit about what they was arguing about what they cut what they stopped doing affirmative action type shit. They stopped doing it. Well, we're gonna stop affirmative action because some guy, a Chinese Canadian motherfucker, came down here and put up a lawsuit and shit. Now there's no affirmative action. When it comes to affirmative action, there's scholarships involved in that. There's scholarships involved in that to supplement that tuition that people have to pay. He come down here from a different country and they change all that shit. They change it all. Now
it was used, man. But go ahead.
Yeah, he was used with his dumb ass. But here's the thing. The thing. When you talk about what's that that one grant that you get, I'm thinking about Michigan tuition, and it'll come to me, but that's affirmative action shit. You know what I'm saying? That's I cannot remember it. It'll come to me, man. But
Pell Grant.
Pell Grants. That's welfare shit. That is. That's a welfare program type institution. That's what it is. And you got people going to all these prestigious schools getting that money. But you don't hear these colleges talking about, well, hey, let's get rid of what y'all just said. Let's get rid of that too. Because that's what it is. That's a social program.
Okay.
And you got all these kids at these prestigious schools getting that money. But they want to focus and attack affirmative action. Who got in because my son didn't get in? Your son or your daughter didn't get in because they didn't do the extra shit. They didn't do the extra stuff. And the extra stuff is working in your community. Not getting a high grade on the SAT or working in your community. Volunteering and stuff. And all that. Your child didn't get into Harvard because his ass sat there studying for the SATs and stuff and didn't get his ass out there in the community or a community and volunteered because that counts for something. So when you measure these different things, you say, oh yeah, he had that high ass score, higher than anybody ever got. But what did he do as far as his community? Oh, that's a zero on that? Then you sit around and wonder why you didn't get your ass in. You think you should get in because you smart. No, man, it's a package thing. All that stuff matters. And then they want to judge the universities because they looking at it they looking at the whole person, your humanity. Because everybody can't go to private schools and get that high private school education. They factor in, well, what are you doing in your community? Hey, you had a C average, but I see you volunteered in a lot of different places. You volunteered in a lot of different places and you did that on a consistent basis. I'm gonna take you because you thought outside of the box. You
Okay,
didn't you didn't get caught up in failing school systems and shit. You was in a failing school system and you produced something that would give you an edge.
well, let me throw this wrinkle at you. All right. I talked to a long time ago. I had a conversation with this older gentleman who
Older than you.
yes, sir. I was a young pup at the time. Um, he said to me, he said, Keith, what is college? Right? I said, well, no, it's higher education. That's what it is. He said, but what is it? What is it really? What is high school? What is college? And I'm like, well, and I want your opinion on this. I said, well, it's where somebody can go and learn a skill. He said, well, I didn't go to college and I learned the skill, and I own my own business, and I make a great living for myself. He said, what college is, and has always been, and high school has always been, is putting kids in a holding pattern so they don't flood the job market. What is you guys' opinion on that?
Wow.
We'll start with you, Damon, or Jaquari, whoever wants to go.
I mean, that's a hell of a take, man. It really is. It just broadens things for me. Because it actually helps to bolster my own opinion about college. I mean, is there higher learning there? Of course there is. Is there opportunities to create long lasting relationships that could possibly boost you
Exactly.
boost your career? Of course it is. But for me, I went to three colleges, so yeah, I can speak on it. But college to me, man, is yeah, Eastern, JCC, and Central.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but college for me, man, at those different opportunities was like the ultimate finishing school for me, man. I mean, high school was, you know, a slight introduction into the world outside of my home, and college campuses for me was truly, they were truly microcosms of the world, and I learned how to navigate some very difficult situations on each one of those campuses, and they added to who I was in the world.
Yeah.
So I'm yeah I agree with your older friend, to a certain extent. Yeah.
Damon?
Here's my thing. Good for him, man. Good for him. So he's able to formulate an opinion for something he didn't do. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing that I think that he's missing, and that is college gives you an opportunity to hone your craft, number one, and experience life outside of your city, your block, or whatever. And introduces you to the world. You know what I'm saying? There is information there. If you take advantage of it, you can be a better person. You can hone your craft. You know what I'm saying? You can be involved in different things. What are there? There are fraternities, there are sororities. Dude, that connects you with a whole lot of people that's doing things, that's inspired by seeing you making an effort. Making an effort, and they say, okay, let me latch on this kid here because he's going to be dynamic, or she's going to be dynamic because she's making an effort. I see the hard work putting in. The thing that kills me the most is that people who didn't go to college, they sit around and act like, man, that's the easy route, or that's whatever. I do not know a person, man, who didn't have to deal with institutionalized, I'm talking about African Americans in general, who didn't have to deal with institutionalized racism, who didn't have to deal with some type of bullshit on top of maintaining their grades, finding a way to get in a organization that's gonna benefit themselves and their kids and their future kids' lives and stuff like that. That requires effort, man. That requires patience. It requires effort. It requires a lot of different things.
Okay, so Damon, um, and I'm still with you, but I'm asking you, isn't what you're saying and what he said the same thing in a holding pattern that encompasses a holding pattern where those kids will have time to do the same things that you and Juquarry is saying in that holding pattern for 4 years?
You know, I'm gonna have to check myself because I'm thinking he's speaking of it in a negative way.
No,
Now, if
he's
he's
not saying. He's just speaking it. This is how I took it in a broader sense. Now, go ahead.
in a broader sense, he did his hustle and he achieved at it. You know what I'm saying? But actually, especially as black people, actually graduating from a learner hiring institution, man, is an accomplishment, man.
Oh,
Because there are a lot of different pitfalls, there are a lot of different traps and stuff like that to get you jammed up. Because if you look at it statistically, there's a lot of people who took out loans and got grants and did all this stuff and didn't graduate. Didn't graduate. And I guarantee you, at some point in time in their life, when they were going for a certain job, which they feel they earned because they put the time in on the job, they felt they should have got the job, but the job required what?
A degree.
Right. So you don't have no choice, man, but to go for that. Everybody's not going to get that. Everybody's not going to get start a successful business. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not. That's not going to happen for everybody.
okay.
You have before you even get looked at, you have to have a degree that qualifies you for that.
Okay, let's we stand with you, Damon, because see, this is interesting. So, what exactly? College education gives you an outline, but where did you learn the most? On the job or college education? Now, this doesn't apply to every degree that you can earn from college, but would you say the majority of the degrees that you learn the most on the job training?
Is that is that question to me?
Yeah,
Or is
it's
it
on
open?
you.
Okay.
It's on you, and then and answer it, and then we'll go to the choir.
That's with every job, man.
Exactly.
That's with every job. You have to have something to bring to it. You know what I'm saying? I think it gives you an edge, man, when you have that degree to back up whatever you bring in. And they're gonna look at you. Do you know how many people, man, who's going through resumes and stuff like that and look at that and say, well, they can't formulate a damn sentence, or they don't have a degree or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You are required to polish your stuff because you know that you invested in something with the student loans and all that stuff. You invested in yourself. You know?
That's true. That's true.
You invested in yourself, and people are able to look at that outline and say, "Wow, okay, I see all these different things. That person can bring something to my organization." I'm just saying, I'm not putting down anybody, man, who did it without going to school. I'm not putting those people down, but you're damn sure not gonna minimize mine. You know what I'm saying? You're damn sure not going to put me in the category was, hey man, you could have got that without, or you could have did this or that without going to college.
That yeah, you know that's all personal shit.
Right? You
That's
cannot say that.
between you and that person. Yeah,
Right?
I
You
get it.
cannot say that to the majority of the people who took the time to go to college. You cannot say that.
Yeah. Juquarry.
You know?
Well, man, honestly, man, on the job training has always been my bread and butter, man. As far as resumes, truthfully, I've never ever written a resume from my own hands personally, man. you know, uh, I've always relied on the fact of,
Look here, baby. I'm gonna
yeah.
treat you right and hook me up.
but
Hey Keith, no, no, no. Yeah, that's right. That I look good right there.
yeah.
Yeah, keep that.
Hey, shit. I had to get my foot in the door, man. Shit, even if somebody else was walking. But man, I've always relied on the fact, man, that me being observant, me paying attention, man, and understanding what each and every job I've ever been trained on, what the purpose was. You know what I mean? And a lot of that, I developed while I was on the college campus, but a lot of it came from my own personal standard, my own personal code.
Okay. Okay. All right.
You got to think about it. You got to think about it though, man. If you look at all three of us, man. Right. I've been with my wife 39 years. Keith, you've been with yours, what, 38, 37 years?
Something like that.
You know what I'm saying?
I had to scream that shit. But go ahead.
Where did we meet our wife? Juquarry, you been with your wife, what, how many years has it been?
Bunch.
My point is, we all still with the same woman who we
Yeah.
met on the campus. We all were steered in the same direction. I think that we all are successful, depending on who the hell you ask. You know what I'm saying? But we all raised kids. All our kids got degrees, except for Carson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There is a pathway. We all have met, and I just talked to my coach last night. Talked to my other coach who recruited me 3 weeks ago. The connection, everything is there. They know people. They've done things. Whatever. You can call somebody and say, "Hey, man, I know somebody who need a business loan or whatever." I can call my boy Larry because he's the president of a bank. You feel what I'm saying? It's about who you know.
Yeah.
It's about who you know, and that's the game right there.
But is that always fair though, man? I mean, how many people do we know got a position, uh, you know, according to who they knew, and were just totally goddamn incompetent?
Well, I mean, look. Let me
Didn't
tell you
work.
That
something,
Didn't.
that 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 that, that works out in the wash though. They don't
bro.
if they don't make it, they don't
Bro,
make it.
bro. First of all, why why is it in our community we feel we're supposed to feel ashamed to have nepotism? I've never been ashamed of fucking nepotism, bro.
Well, I'm
Because
not.
no, I'm not pointing at you. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
No,
But
no, no.
what you said is referring to it, and this is my
Mhm.
thing. This is my thing. It is no way that we've been getting it thrown in our faces our whole lives as in our community, right? And then when we do it, it's a capital crime. Now, if you shortchanging somebody in your community when you're putting an incompetent person ahead of them, it's your right to do it. because you in power, but it's stupidity too, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question, and then it's a two-part question. We are all three of us are college graduates, right? First part of the question is, did college save your life, right? And then the second part of the question is, did your kids who graduated from college, did college save their lives? We'll start with you, Jaquar.
College absolutely saved my life, man. I mean, when I finally went and stayed and found understanding of the process and dove into the process, yeah, it was a big part of my life, man. Because I was able to accomplish things. And I didn't necessarily have to go out to find those things to accomplish. They were there. They were a
Oh,
part of the package.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Folks that's listening to us, I'm going to repeat this again. It don't necessarily have to do with college. The college or your first job saved your life. I had to I had to amend that. I'm sorry, Jaquar, to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, it done a lot of positive things for me. It was the first situation where, in doing those positive things for me, I was able to reap the benefits and give back to it. You know what I mean? And the exchange of who I was compared to the opportunities that college presented for me was priceless. And as far as whether or not college saved my daughter's life, uh, I don't know that she was ever given a choice of whether or not she was going to college or not. Uh, you know, I when I met her mom, she was 11 years old, and from the time that I'd met them, it was college was always talked about. And at the current time, it didn't matter how well or poorly she was doing in school. That was the goal. She was going to get into college. And she was going to graduate. And she did that, and she did it to a high degree, a very high degree. So as far as saving her life, I think it put so many things into perspective for her. You know what I mean? It showed it really showed her the real world. Because when she graduated, she got a very good job, a very good teaching job. You know what I mean? And she was making moves in her school in her community or whatever. So she got to find out what it felt like to adult for a little while. And she's adulting now. She's got two children. She's happily married. And it's an even fuller time job. Taking care of small children and a household and a husband, and she's happy. So everything that I aspired for her to have and to do up to this point, she has.
Damon. Well, hold on. Before you say anything, let me, like I said, folks, I'm going to repeat this. After Damon is done, did college and a good job, a consistent job, save your life? And did a college and a good job save your child's life? Go ahead, Damon.
I wouldn't use those words, those strong words, saving life, but I would say this. I would say that college opened up a lot of doors.
That's sort of
Get,
saving your life, bro.
what I'm saying, giving opportunity. I mean, I could have just, what I'm saying, not going to college and work my way up. And that's not, cause, saying anything that's wrong with that. I'm just simply saying, with the opportunities and the connections and the people that I've met and the whole experience, I think it was well worth it because it showed me something outside of who I was. It showed me something outside of who I was, and I was able to experience different things, and I was able to I was able to talk and kick it with people who, let's face it, in life was doing a whole lot better than I was, and I was able to, we were able to communicate that while taking the same class and shit. You know, being inspired about things. You know, if you got a kid living in the hood, what are you inspired by? Is what he see. But when you go to college and you experience all these different things, it's like, okay, can I operate in this situation? Can I prosper in this situation? That's a challenge, man. You know what I'm saying? That's a challenge, and that's something, man, that you find out about yourself, because that's the world you're going to be introduced to once you graduate. Okay, navigating. It's not what you know, it's who you know to a large extent. You know what I'm saying? You could get a degree from this or that or whatever, but is it about the classes you took and your interactions and all that stuff, or is it about what's behind the name? A person who graduates from Harvard can get a job any damn where, overseas, because of the reputation of that university. Oh man, you got through Harvard, you got through Yale, you got through Michigan, you got through all these schools. I know you prepared, and you got alumni in positions to say, that's one of my peoples from where I graduated from. Let's give them a look. See what I'm saying? Those are options, as opposed to not having options. That's not, as opposed to not being paid attention to in life. You know what I'm saying? College actually, not only is it hard work, but it actually provides you opportunities where people will look at you and say, can you cut the mustard? Well, you graduated from that program, so I know you can. So I can at least give you a look. You know what I'm saying? And the opposite side of that is, man, I've been out here grinding and working my ass off or whatever, and I can't get a break. At least people are looking and saying, okay, you from my alma mater, okay. I'm going to give them a look and see what's going on with them. Now, whether you pass or fail with that, that's on you. That's on you. But just getting a look, just somebody just paying attention to you because you went through the rigors of college or whatever, that's a plus. That's a bonus. You know what I'm saying? And I totally shut down that whole case where, man, I ain't had to go to college, man, and I look at how successful I am. Okay, good for you. Nobody's saying.
Why do you shut it down?
I shut it down, man, because when you go to college, man, there are a lot, especially if you black, you got to deal with institutionalized racism. You got to deal with people that look like you. There's a whole lot of things that you have to deal with just to get that 4-year degree or that 2-year degree when you go to the master's. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of rigors and stuff that you got to go through. And when you accomplish that, when you accomplish all that, me personally, with my experience, I can look at that person and say, damn, man, good job. Because I know every day it was a struggle because you was facing institutionalized racism. I know it was a struggle because people was looking at you and saying you don't belong in this program. You know what I'm saying? And finding ways to get you kicked up out the joint. You'd be surprised how many black people will have that conversation with you and say, oh yeah, I experienced that. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's the world in a microcosm. It's a world where that world is on that campus where you're dealing with all type of people from all different countries and all that stuff, and you're competing with these people, and you're trying to get noticed. You get noticed by the work you put in, and not to mention that you're doing 2 or 3 damn jobs at the same time.
Okay, so the second part of the question, did it save your children's lives?
What it did for me was gave my kids an example to do what they wanted to do in life. They come to understand that they had options. They had a choice. as far as saving their lives, they're very resilient. They're very resilient people. I know they're gonna be successful either way. But the easier path, they took the harder joint, and they took the, you know what I'm saying. Now they're in a position where they could demand some shit. You know what I'm saying?
So what's your opinion about it then?
My I got the degree. I got this degree, but you want to pay me entry level shit? I got choices. I can apply somewhere else, and then you're gonna regret it because I got a degree to back up, and this is my worth because I understood what I went through. You know what I'm saying?
So
It,
I'm sorry, real quick, man. I mean, it sounded like a few minutes ago when we were discussing the phenomena of nepotism. It sounded like that you were in line with nepotism.
yeah, I'm in line with nepotism.
Hmm.
I am. I,
Listen,
I am. Yes.
as close as nepotism I can come, bro. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's who you know. That's what gets you those jobs that you can go and say, okay, I'm gonna make a career out of this joint.
Two
Nepotism is
two
not
part question.
fair.
Two
It's
part
not fair.
question. Is it fair? And
No.
and 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 number two, I mean, well, let's just deal with that first. I mean, if you agree with nepotism, but you say that it's not fair, how do you occupy that space, Keith?
I'll answer this. When I say no, it's not fair, meaning that I go along with it, and yeah, I might feel bad because I understand the struggles of different places. But you want your people, your family, to succeed. So if you're in a position of power, and when I say it's not fair, and I agree with it though, and you're in a position of power, and you can put your people in place, it's okay. Let's perfect world that they are more than capable of fulfilling the job, and you're in position of power to actually give them the nod to go ahead. You should. That's how I feel. Now, if you want me to say morally is right, I can't say it morally is right. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm not promoting like, yo, it's what you should do. No, the thing about it is, it's only one position when it comes to your family. If it's about putting your family in place for the longevity, put them in place.
But
That's just how I feel. But go
but
ahead,
wh-
Juquarry.
what do you do when your family makes you look bad?
It ain't no, they're making themselves look bad, brother.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, they can mess
you
your
know
name up now.
that's
No,
not how
no, no. Hold on, hold on,
you
They
hold
know
on.
can
that's
mess your
not how the
name up,
business
man.
world works,
Let
Keith.
me let me answer.
You
Let
know
me
that's
answer.
not how the business world works.
Listen, let me answer this. Because by the time that you put yourself in place, this is how I feel. By the time you put yourself in place, you don't give a flying fig what people think about you because your people are in position to take care of themselves. And that's your goal.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
I mean,
that's how I feel.
but let me say, okay, the person who was hired for the position, if they can't cut the mustard, then that's obvious. It was a bad decision.
But you try to
The
help them out
thing
though,
that the burden that you have to carry is the fact that everybody sees the situation and they look at you as a bad judge of character.
all right.
Is this? But now is that somebody we want in charge of making important decisions for the company?
Let me say this to you, bro. If I'm in that position, that means I had to scrape and claw. I'm gonna leave this to you guys. I had to scrape and claw to get there. I don't give a fuck what anybody else think about me if I had to get to that position and earn it or take it. You feel what I'm saying? That's just me. That's how I feel about it. You feel me? In this
Well,
in this kind of thing, last thing, in this kind of thing, it's no right or wrong. when you reach that level. You look, you making me look bad. The only time that somebody should feel that way if they children out here doing the wrong thing. Now you making me look bad. But if it's not your child, it's somebody you taking the chance. And even if your child is grown, no, your child is making themselves look bad. Not you. You earned it because you made that decision. Now
Well,
go
you
ahead.
know,
Speak on that.
well, here's the thing, man. If it's something that you are abusing and you putting people unqualified people in that position, then yeah, it's a bad thing, man. But if you are putting
Oh,
people in a position who are qualified for it, but they get a, everybody's doing it, man. It's just like what Michigan. Everybody want to put Michigan on the damn spotlight for stealing signs. Everybody doing that shit.
I knew you was gonna bring that up, but go ahead.
Everybody doing that shit. Hell, we was doing that shit in high school. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody. Didn't we have an assistant coach who was sitting around with his backpack on his back talking about, I'm gonna go check out this game. Come
Look,
on,
look.
man.
Linebackers, the great linebackers steal signs.
Everybody steals signs. You
It,
understand what I'm saying? Now,
that's it.
If Michigan, what is their record? They're 7 and whatever their record was. If they only won 3 games, would they even be talking about this shit right now?
It's some bull crap, man.
It's a joke, man. Everybody cheat. Everybody.
Okay, Keith.
Go
Uh,
ahead. Boy.
Your response to my question about nepotism was, it was eloquent, and I totally understand it. But let me ask you something a little bit closer to home. When I graduated from Central and I applied to the Wake County Sheriff's Department, and I went out and took the test and everything, and I totally shit the bed on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely shit the bed on that. Are you telling me that you didn't catch any backlash from that?
No. You want to know why? Because on the strength of who I was, I said I want my brother to come out here and do this.
Hmm.
Right now,
And I failed.
but the thing about it is, you failed because you didn't prepare for it. You had every intention. Now understand the totality of it. You had every intention of moving to Virginia. So your mind, and the thing about it is, you and I discussed it all the way up the 3 weeks, all the way up until it was time for the assessment. You were not doing anything. But I used to ask you, like, bro, did you do something today? What's going on? Are you don't show up if you don't want to show? No, no, I got you. And I know you did that for me. You went there for me, but you had no intentions of staying in Raleigh.
I can simplify it more than that. When you did what you did, Jacob, and it didn't happen, that next person was talking about, man, strong brother didn't make it. Let me see if I can slide you in. That's what happened.
And look, here's the thing, Juquarry, partly because of the way we was raised, partly because of what kind of dude I was, of course I'm gonna give you a chance. But see, the thing about it is, I processed the whole thing. You making it did not make me look better. Me made me look better. Me made me the person that they looked up to. You see what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. What I did was give you a chance, give you an option. That's all.
Like everybody else.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. Like, yo, let me give my man an option to be able to make a choice. Because the thing about it is, you if you remember back then, I said, bro, you let me know that you moving to Virginia. And I said to you, bro, do if you don't want to do it. No, 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 I'm going, I'm going. You see what I'm saying? I say, okay, cool. All I'm doing is giving you an option. That's it. Because guess what? You're my brother. I love you. I'm going to give you what I can give. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Just like with my son Keith, had he been interested, all I had to do was say the word, and he would have been able to go down there, either became a detention officer or a deputy. Had he been interested, I asked him. He said, "I'm not interested." You feel me? It ain't about strong son or strong brother is the beast. So that makes strong look like he's the fucking man. No, strong the fucking man because he is a man. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I don't look, and I understand why you asked the question. So this is the thing that's always been when it came down to certain things with me. This is what it's always been. But the one thing I understood by looking at our parents is accepting who I am and how I work, how I walk through life. So everything that I do is I take accountability only for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, yes, nepotism. You know, when I asked you, yo, you want to do this? What did I do? I picked up that phone like, hey, can you create a space for my brother? You feel me? Because, bro, we see it happen every single day. And it's room for it to happen. That's the key. It is room. But we're made to believe that there's no room for everybody. But the one thing I understand is it's room for everyone. Probably not at that moment, but moments after, it's room for everybody. What it is.
Listen here, man. For me, it's this, man. For me, it's okay. We understand that this is the system that we working under, and when you bring somebody in the picture who's qualified for the job, I'm not gonna talk about who shit the bed, but who's qualified for the job, and everybody else is doing it, but because the person you wanted to put in place, in terms of nepotism, don't move the damn goalpost because you wasn't on your shit. Don't move the goalposts. You know what I'm saying? Why can't? Well, how come my cousin can't get in? You know what I'm saying? That's something you got to assess with yourself. You got to ask that question because this is the system that people are working under. This is what it is. And the only time you start paying attention is when you assume shit. Well, why did they get an opportunity? Why did they get a chance? Well, what school did they go to or whatever? You don't know a person's background, history, or whatever. Now, if you put somebody in there in a high position who has no experience, all that shit, you have an argument there, man. You have an argument there. But why is when it comes to somebody that look like us, everything got to be questioned? Why is that? I mean, why are we held to a different standard? Why are we being made to feel a certain way because we gave somebody who had an opportunity and a chance, who's probably been waiting for that damn opportunity chance for 5 years and never even got a look at?
Well, I mean,
But you got clowns sitting up there and you like, man, I should be doing your job because I'm doing all the work because you don't even know what the hell you doing.
that's not a legitimate beef.
It's not, bro.
Now I'm asking you, that's not a legitimate beef. The
I'm
fact,
saying, I'm saying, based on the system that is in play. You know what I'm saying? If you learn the game better than anybody else, and you are able to help somebody who deserve this shit, who would not get a look, don't move the goalposts, man.
but see, my whole point is, man, I've been in positions where nepotism has affected me in a negative sense. by people who looked exactly like me, and I had to clean up incompetence. I've been in that position many times. Probably not in my current position, but I've had jobs where I had to train people who were over me, and they just didn't get it. And they've got these jobs because of people that they know. And I was passed over, even though I was overly qualified for whatever position. I was passed over, and it was given to someone else. I was responsible for training that person, and I always ended up wearing shit for a hat.
Hey,
Well,
you want to know something, bro? What I've understood about it is this: when I run into people who don't see who I am, then my job is to personally see who I am. Now, I worked 22 years from the place that I'm 30 years altogether in law enforcement, right? 22 years of where I was. I've trained and worked with as partners at least 20 people who became supervisors before I retired, right? But because of the personality that I had, and that personality was, I'm gonna put my work in and not give a fuck. I'm gonna put a high standard of work in because that's what I cared about, right? That's what I cared about is what I'm putting in. And the thing about it is, if I had to kiss your ass to be put, and that's immaturity when I say it. If I had to kiss your ass to be promoted, I'm not going to do it. But I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm going to honor your supervisory position, and we're going to go forward. I'm putting in hard work. But people who who are more receptive to, I don't want to say kissing ass or brown nose, because these guys and these young ladies are trying to get to where they need to be. And I had much respect for them. If that's what they want, if that's what they're about, that's cool. But guess what? Me, personally, I walk out of my door and I was blessed enough to walk back into my door for 30 years, man. For 30 years, I was able to walk out my door and walk back into it to see my family. So when it comes to that, yeah, I wanted to be wealthier before I retired. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah.
Mm.
And if you gave me a supervisory position, I would have accepted it. But what it was about was the work. The work was more important to me because you had to keep your head in what I did for a living. You had to keep your head in the game. Always keep your head in the game. Like I said,
Real.
look, I wasn't turning nothing down but my collar. But motherfuckers wasn't giving me nothing to turn down. But here's my
Well,
point to you guys. Go ahead, Jaquan.
real quick. Malika Harris, she asked, "Can you post the subject at the bottom of the screen or repeat the topic?" So, uh, yeah,
Hey, Malika, this is just random. We just talking. We were just shooting off the cuff, to be honest with you. But
yeah.
Juquarry, you remember what we started off with?
Well, no, I was going to tell her what we currently we're currently discussing
Yeah, that's what I'm
the
talking about.
pros. Yeah, we're currently discussing the pros and cons of nepotism and why the black community doesn't necessarily uh, reap the benefits of nepotism. A Paul Spikes, shout out to you, brother. That's my oldest friend. I'm gonna talk to
what's
you.
up, Paul?
Paul, what's
I,
going on, baby boy?
I got to talk to you, brother.
And
But
and,
that, yeah,
and but go ahead, hey, Damon, tell Malika what you think about nepotism, and then I'll do the same. Juquarry, then you end it up.
My point was, sister girl. My point was this: if this thing is established in this light, this is how it is. Don't get mad at me because I play the game better than you. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me if I put myself in the position where I am able to help somebody else who's qualified, and been waiting to be in that position, and I'm able to help him. Yeah, that's quote unquote nepotism. But when people start complaining, it's like, why complain when I do it now? When you've been doing it the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And then the one or two people that I help out actually get in based on my merit, based on who I am in that position, who's able to help them. Don't get mad. Because if I'm sitting up here watching you bringing in people, qualified or not, bringing in people, and I know I can help somebody out who's qualified, you think I'm not going to take that chance? You think I'm not going to say that? And then all of a sudden the whole subject of nepotism is a problem now. And it's like, why is it a problem? You know what I'm saying? You've displayed to me this whole time that that's how you get ahead. That's how you help the people that you love to get ahead or whatever. Now all of a sudden it's a problem because I'm bringing in more qualified people than you, and you think that's too much? You want to have an opinion about it? But if I'm sitting there and I'm quiet and not saying anything, you're gonna open up the floodgates on your behalf and the people that you love and care about. Don't be mad at me because I'm playing your game better than you.
That's real.
It's simple. That's my simple point. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm wrong, if I and what I'm doing fall under that whole definition of nepotism, which is a negative thing, then you are too.
Yeah. And,
So
and
what's so what sets us apart? I
no,
mean,
no, hold on for a second. Let me answer this, then I'm going to you, Juquarry. Malika, I believe in nepotism. I understand why somebody would think it is a negative thing, but we see nepotism throughout everything in our lives. So I believe it. As long as you are providing something for your family and they're qualified for it. And then I'm really and truly in a gray area when I say they're qualified. What I want them to do is live, period. The quarry is on you.
yeah, I don't want to paint a picture, man, to say that that I wouldn't reach back or help somebody out if I was in a position to do so. I'm not saying that at all, man. I'm just saying, like, if used incorrectly, man, it could create a whole bunch of problems for both parties involved. Now, what does as far as a person's thinking patterns and mindset, if they get a job that they know they're not qualified for, they know they can't do it, and they get that job through nepotism, what does that what does that tell a person? Number one, and number two, as I said before, if a person gets a position because of you and fails to live up to expectations, do you not think that puts a black eye on you? And I heard what you said, Keith. I heard what you said, and some points I totally agree with. But if you're willing to put some, to put your reputation, no matter how far fetched you might think that seems to be, because you are putting your reputation in the business world, whatever that business may be, on the line. You are.
Okay,
When
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this. I see your point and I agree with your point. But brother, if you are working for an entity and they can fire you at any moment for any small thing, why would that even be an issue? As long as you are not, you hire somebody out of the extreme. You understand what I'm saying, T? See, that's the thing I'm talking about. When you have somebody who you got an accounting job, and this person is forte is painting, is an artist and paints portraits. Them two don't go together. But are they eating? And are they eating for a short while? And you gave that to them? Now, if they say, Keith, you hired this incompetent person. Okay, are you gonna fire them? If you are, let's move on. Because I'm gonna keep doing my job the way that I'm doing it. You understand what I'm saying? That's all.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
And it's not minimizing anything. It's just a simple fact that my mind has been programmed in helping the very best way I know how. Hey, Jaquar, your name is in here. Read that from Malika.
See, I've been in a position like Juquarry too. The unqualified have impacted me negatively. The fuck. However, those in charge didn't feel any guilt about it. Why do we? Because wrong is wrong is wrong. The source doesn't matter.
Why do black folks got to be more moral than everybody else, man? Is it our, hey, Fluke, is it our humanity?
Yeah, it is our humanity. But you know what? Where's that getting us, man? Our humanity. And I'm gonna tell you, this is how I feel. Real talk. We could put it whatever label you want to put on it. If it bring light to somebody who's qualified, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad because I learned to play the game like you playing it. And putting qualified people in those positions. You know what I'm saying? It's nepotism, man. Imagine labeling somebody, labeling the situation as nepotism, somebody who's totally qualified for the job. But you want to put nepotism on that shit because you want to continue to maintain control. And you've been doing nepotism all the time, putting people in positions who's not qualified for it. So you want to put the two together, which makes no damn sense. Don't get mad because somebody learned how to play the game better than you. Is my point.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Who the hell you know that's a black person is going to put somebody who they know is unqualified, in the job and jeopardize their job?
If listen, let me just say this to you. That is a great damn point. But the thing about it is, you got to flip it a little bit. What if it don't jeopardize their job? Would they be reckless and putting somebody in that's not qualified?
Yeah, because it's hurting the other person who you can also put in a position to whatever. You know what I'm saying? It can put a scarlet letter on your name because it's like, well, hey man, you bringing somebody here who's not even qualified and shit. I can't trust him, and that's preventing you from putting people in positions.
I get it.
It's selling in your
Hey,
name.
hey, Fluke, read this what Paul said.
I work in law enforcement. We had no black supervisors. With that being said, us black officers trained officers who became our bosses.
Now, Paul,
That's my point.
let me ask y'all a question. Is it because of your power of self, or is it your personality that keeps you from getting those supervisory jobs? I'm playing the devil's advocate, and Jaquar, I'm gonna start with you.
Well, I think the only thing that matters in that situation is my power, man. My personality shouldn't be a factor. You
But
know,
it
every
always is, though.
Yeah, but people will preach that. I don't come here to make friends. I don't come here to socialize and all this, and I don't. The people who I'm close with, we've become close, over the years through association. That we both, you know, search for or wanted from each other. You know, other other people might think I'm an asshole, and I'm cool with that. I'm
Got
cool with that. Me being an asshole has never had any bearing on my effectiveness.
it. Okay. Blue, what's your comment?
My comment is this, man. If we come from a moral understanding of things, then we can say, things are what they are, and the right person get the job or whatever. But we all know that's not the case, man. So don't change the damn goalpost, man. When we learn how to play the game, you understand what I'm saying? Don't change the goalpost. Don't move it out further when we learn how to play the game. When we learn how to make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Don't change the shit. Then you wanna go by the definition of nepotism. When you doing this shit the whole time. And then we figure out how to overstep that and make things happen one or two people at a damn time. It's minuscule, man. It's minuscule. When you want to talk about nepotism, it's minuscule in terms of certain people, minorities, or whatever. The things that's successful with them in terms of nepotism is minuscule as compared to other shit. You got kids, man, who busting their ass to get into college and all this stuff and can't even get in. And they doing everything that's asked for them. But some clown, because their parents gave a donation or whatever, get in and flunk out in 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, but
Isn't
ultimately,
that nepotism?
But I'm saying, is that
it
that
is.
particular college you tried into, or is that just college in general? Because I've always believed that you can become a king or queen no matter where you land at.
Here's the difference. Nepotism require, hey, we're gonna let you in and we're gonna cut your breaks, man. Even if you flunk out the first semester, we're gonna cut you a damn break.
Of course, of course.
Whereas that kid who don't get that opportunity or that look, taking out loans that's gonna last them for the rest of their damn life, who is doing the extracurricular shit and all that, that's not even factored in. It's not even factored in. They bypassed every day. But when that kid and their parents are smart enough to play the game and put them in the position not to, coast, but to just be in the fight, now everybody want to cry nepotism and shit.
Yeah, but I mean that only creates good game players, man. It doesn't like develop good citizens, man. Isn't that the ultimate goal?
Well, the ultimate goal. Well,
How,
you talking
I
about
how,
mean,
do,
we're
you talking about
how do
utopia, bro.
how do you develop good citizens? Corey?
Do we live in utopia or Shangri-La, bro?
no, you don't have to have a decent society though.
But I'm saying, how do you do that exactly? Just and give me and both of you guys give me a short response to that. I mean, is that possible
Well,
to develop citizens, or is that just an individual choice? Or
Develop what, bro?
it's 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 our job as a community to develop good citizens, man.
how do you do that though? This is what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, we already have established baseline, moral codes and societal rules and regs that have
Okay.
made the world go around for some time. I mean, are we at the ass end bottom of those things? Yes, we are. I'd be a fool to sit here and say that we weren't, but I'm also saying that as we try to match the other in their dastardly deeds and how they choose to get ahead, it only digs a hole deeper for us because not only do we have the negative stereotypes and connotations that the world has put on us, but now we're starting to develop a new fucking deeper level of fucking treachery that ain't nobody gonna want to fucking deal with. That's just how I see it.
Hey, Damon, real quick, then we're gonna move on to the next question. What's your response to it?
I'm just saying, man. When you talk about moral turpitude and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna move the goddamn goalpost and I learn the game and try to play it with your ass, now you want to go back to how shit should be when you've been taking advantage of the system to the point where you put blockades in place where I can't even come up to you. But when I figure out how to play your game, you want to change shit, and then be judgmental. You know what I'm saying? That right there speaks to your character. It speaks to your character because as long as you winning the game with your deceit and bullshit, you're okay. Everything is good. Everything is gravy. And I don't mean to sound militant, man. I'm just a little frustrated because it's like, come on, man. It takes a lot to prepare your child that looks like me. It takes a lot to prepare your child to do the shit the right way. And if they get a leg up, you want to change the game now.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Okay, from an athletic point of view, say you were a coach, sir, and you go into the locker room at halftime and you guys are losing. Who do you talk about? Do you talk about the other team or do you talk about your own? Who do you coach up?
If I'm losing at halftime and I'm talking to my team at halftime,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about the cat who letting that one player bust our ass first. And then I'm gonna pick him up and say, "Hey man, step your game up. I need you in this situation. We need a what, Spoke? We need an edge. Everybody getting over in life, man, because they have an edge. They're not. Who's playing fair, man?
Who picks those edges? Same scenario, man. You're
Who pick the edges?
You're a coach.
Circumstances pick the edges, bro.
Exactly, but the focus should not be on the other locker room. The focus is on your own locker room. That's my opinion. Me standing there talking about the players on the other team does my team no good at all.
Not at all. I agree.
Then how do you know how to stop them?
I think it's a mixture of both, but really and truly, heavy-handedly, it is your team. What they're not doing,
Right.
you make adjustments with them.
But they're not doing it. How do you make that adjustment, bro? When what they're not doing, man, you let my man beat you baseline all damn day. Isn't that about the other team?
Yeah, you're not stepping on that baseline when you stepping and sliding.
Right. So, but you have to identify. You have to identify the weakness first.
We're
Bro.
saying the same thing, but this what I said. The simple fact that you have to mix it, but more heavily onto your team of what they're not doing.
Right.
To correct it. That's it. You know what I mean?
You put your best player's foot forward. Hey man, this is not you. Why is you letting this man beat you time and time again? I know you can stop that guy.
So
you have to recognize where you being attacked.
Recognize where you're being attacked, and also hand in hand how you can correct it. You know
okay. Do you correct it with another player who you think might be able to stop the baseline being exposed?
What you do is you focus on your player, and you don't really talk about his opponent's credit score or his opponent's or whatever advantage his opponent may have at the time. It doesn't matter.
So it ain't even about looking for your edge. It's about adjusting to
your edge exists in your locker room.
Yeah, adjusting to that shit.
Our edges exist in our homes.
Hold on for a second. Now first you said, and this is not trying to trip you up. I'm trying to point out that all three of us are saying the same thing. Because at first you said,
I don't think we
talk
are.
about what they're doing to you, right? Individual players are doing to you. Now you're saying that, oh, make adjustments doing with your individual players. Go hand in hand.
Okay.
It's the simple fact that what we're trying to do, and it's the sports scenario. Like, you better than this, and this is how you can prove it. That those two simple sentences right there. That's what you do at halftime. You feel me? Let me do this real quick. I found this interesting when Malika put up here. I don't believe in social media and these entertainers, but it is what it is. It said people said Blue Ivy was autism. They said a professional dancer could have used that job. I'm happy her mom recognized she runs the show, and guess what? She got better. LOL. It's rare that we don't meet their expectations when given an opportunity. That's 110%. 200% of mentality is in us. We're not about to let anyone say we don't belong. I agree with you. And the thing about it is this. And then I'm gonna walk into this next question. We're gonna go home. The thing about it is, if I got a daughter that travels with us, who's homeschooled, and both me and my wife are entertainers, and she's interested in it, I'm gonna find a way to fold them into it. This is addressing what you said, Malika. Find a and fuck you if you think that I should have gave it another dancer that job. No, I'm gonna give it to my kid. You want to know why? Because I have the power to do so. Feel what I'm saying? That's what it is. Because our job is to do what, guys? Stimulate our children to be better than us, to achieve greater heights than we did. That's what we wish the most for our children.
But that requires them to lose too, man. How they gonna know their own internal fortitude, man, without a loss?
That's what they do when they're out into the world. They learn what it is to have setbacks, bro. You understand? But if this little girl is what, 10, 11 years old, hell, yes, sir. I'm gonna get her used to these sellout crowds with her mother's uh jack leg entertainment. I laugh at these beehive and all this bullshit. She just a singer. She got great songs, but damn, bro. You know
All
what I'm
right now.
saying? This shit is ridiculous. I know, but it's
All
ridiculous.
right now.
But
I'm not mad because they found a way to make it work, man. You
I
understand what I'm
mean,
saying?
no, I feel that. And I'm not arguing against
And
that.
and that's my point where, if we can learn to play the game better, then that's a feather in our cap. And that's just how the world operates, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying a lie here, man. You know what I'm saying? If
No
you can
doubt.
help somebody with an edge who you can back and say this person is going to do this and this person is going to do that, and the only thing I require from them is to do the same thing that I done for them, gave them a chance and shit. Now you can get off into the nuances about, well, were they qualified? If they're doing the job successfully, of course they were qualified for it.
But see,
But would they have ever gotten a chance?
when people ask that question, though, bro, you know what the fuck. They either want it or they want it for their child. Is he or she
Of
qualified?
course. I mean, that's the
But
world we live in, man. The
but
world
but
we live in is about competition, man. It ain't about.
that is a
You know who?
individual person. Go ahead,
You
Juquarry.
know who else asked those questions? You know who else asked those questions? The person who was directly under them, who was surpassed because of them, and they're fucking inept. That's who asked that
Are they
question.
still are they still eating people under them? Are they still eating?
When I do a job, man, I expect there to be opportunities for advancement. I do,
No,
because
no,
I
we
work
talking
hard
about
and
Juquarry, we talking about entertainment now. I understand where you're coming from. Don't get me wrong, but go ahead.
well, I mean, I've never been an entertainer, man, so I can't really speak to that. I mean,
What?
me as
You
far
are
as like,
entertainer.
You said you never
You
been an
are an
entertainer.
entertainer.
not on that level, not
Really,
being the
bro? Did
not
you
not
did
I'm
you
just
bring that? You just trying to make a point, man. You are absolutely an entertainer, man.
no, I mean not to the level to where I could affect somebody through nepotism. I mean, hey,
no
like I
doubt.
said, I don't really have any qualms against nepotism. As far as me reaching back, I do it at the drop of a hat,
Yeah,
man. But I have been
yeah.
affected by it,
Okay,
by people who
Me
look like
too.
me.
Me too.
okay.
So
Well,
Me
I mean,
too.
we all have. You know what I'm saying? Not minimizing your
All right.
point, but we all have.
Let's
Hey, I,
get it.
I want to
Let's
say
get
one
it.
thing.
Okay, real quick, man. But I want to get into this last question. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I wanted to make sure that I plug me and my son and son-in-law's podcast, man. Is that cool?
yeah,
Yo,
yeah,
I was
please,
waiting for you to do it, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay.
The
Damn.
36 Crucible.
36 Crucible podcast, man. Now, it's the other podcast out there is 36 Crucible, but make sure you put podcast on that, and that's directly, us. We just getting started. We're trying to find our footing. You know what I'm saying? And please support us and listen to something, you know, just out of curiosity if need be. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to coincide with this podcast too because it's all family, it's all love.
What platforms are you on, bro? Plug them.
Shit. You would ask me that question. I know we on.
Fucking right. Stop that.
Hey, yo, Keith, the
Now
reason
you're
why,
gonna have my son talking about, Dad, man, what is you
Dad,
doing,
what the
man?
fuck, Dad? What the fuck,
Write
Dad?
it down. Write it
Yeah,
down, man.
yeah.
Dad, for real, man.
Hey, Keith, hey,
How
Keith,
could you do? How could you not? Come on, man.
yeah. Hey,
But
Keith. The only reason he paused so long in the beginning is because he forgot the name of the podcast.
no, I didn't.
Yes, he did. The 36 Crucible
Go ahead, bro.
podcast. How
Go
about
ahead,
some?
dog.
How about some?
You know what, Spoke?
I know a lot of shit, brother. So
Anyway, man, tune in, man. Cause this dropped the third one
third,
just posted.
okay.
Yeah, check it out, man. These guys are brilliant, man.
What
You
about
know
what
what I'm
about
saying?
what about days and times, bro?
Uh, it's not live, man. We recording everything, so
Okay.
we gonna get back on Sunday. We got 3 posted already, and just tune in and listen to both podcasts, man. You can see the brilliance and it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? It's all good.
That's real.
So tune in.
That's real.
Tune in.
All right. Let's just hit this real quick and quick response. Then we're gonna bring it on home with the what the hell segment. But either you two gentlemen, and I want you to take your time to answer this. I want you to take your time when you answer this because this is very important. You name 2 things.
Step off me, sister.
Give me and look, it's a
Now you know
gigantic,
from now on I'm gonna be on point with my shit. Goddamn it. Okay.
no doubt, no doubt.
There it
And,
is.
look, and first of all,
I'm like Pop
give,
now. There it is.
There it is.
give it to me so I can put it in the banners. Then I'll let it scroll across the
36
bottom.
Crucible podcast, man.
Okay, next time we got you. And this is really and truthfully to solve, the problems of everything. But I want to opinion about it. If you can name one or two things, take your time when you do this.
My bad.
You can name one or two things. One is sufficient.
Sufficient.
Yes, sir. But
I was gonna say specific.
that's what it sounded like, Luke. But what would you change to put a battery into our community's growth? Name one thing. Put one thing that's important to you. In the
I would
meantime,
check.
I'm gonna give you. But hold on, Juquarry. I'm gonna give you time to think about it because I need to plug our situation.
No. Ask the question again.
What is one thing that you would change for our community to a battery into our community's growth?
I'll
You
be
got
I'll
it?
be right back.
So let me just say that this is Strong Perspective Podcast. And what we do is promote conversation. Today it was the three of us. We at least once or twice a month where because we've been doing this so long and we don't have a guest, we just chop it up. Just pretty much explore how we feel about. We're three brilliant human beings, but the thing about it is, what we do is give our best guess of how we see the world. It's about conversation. This is what we promote. This is what we're about. You know what I mean? That's what's going on, and that's how we feel. Because a lot of times, what people do is talk at each other, and they go at each throat because you either mispronounce one word or you just throw stuff out there without thinking. You know what I mean? And so go to our YouTube channel, bless us. If you're new to us, bless us and make sure you share it with the folks that you know. Bless us, go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe. Because look, this is a grassroots home situation. And what we're trying to do, to be honest with you, is look, let me put it like this. I love the conversation. Damon wants to provoke thought on change. All three of us want change, but we're coming from different directions. Juquarry looks at it in an authentic way. Me, I think you can get to the point by figuring it out. And there's no right or wrong to it. It's what it is. So go to our channel, like, share, and subscribe, because this is what we're doing. All right? Now, everybody, Juquarry, you still remember the question that I asked?
I do.
We'll start with you.
All right. The one thing I would do, man, is strengthen our community's resilience, man. And I'm in no way saying that black people are weak or we give up easy or anything like that. Our history in this country, and on the face of the planet, speaks otherwise. We're very dug into situations, man. Very very interested in seeing situations through. So I'm not questioning that. But what's the other side of that coin, man? Once you've been downtrodden for so long, once you had the man's foot on your neck for so many years or whatever, through the process of being resilient, I would imagine that you would start to develop real options for you and your community, and understand that assimilating into the program of the other is just not going to work for us. And I can
I
say
agree
that
with
because
that.
it hasn't been working. So what do we need to do? We need to pool our resources in some form or fashion, and start our own businesses, start our own advertising, start our own branch of the music industry, where the company, or whatever we establish, is interested in artist longevity. Up to this point, man, nothing that the black community in this country is involved in has anything to do with longevity. It's all about momentary entertainment, be it positive or negative. We have to establish roots, deeper roots than we already have. With roots and connection comes resources. And once we receive those resources, we have to have fixed, cogent plans in place that are at least going to put people in the position to capitalize on ideas that they have. That's my one.
Damon.
No, no, no. Because my mind is, I'm thinking about a whole lot of different things, man. No, I want to be
Yeah. Meaning,
specific.
meaning that I forgot. Can you tell me again? Basically, it's just one thing that you feel we can change to help our communities grow.
I think the one thing that we could change is to respect other people's understanding of what their experience is, man. You know what I'm saying? Are we a monolith? We're not. We all think different, but when it comes to being a monolithic group, we get caught up in our own personal feelings and all that. That we don't think collectively. You know what I'm saying? We don't. You know what I'm saying? And for me, how I feel about the situation is I understand how it is to survive. I'm successful at life surviving. You know what I'm saying? I have a track record for that. Some person might not understand, what that process is. You know what I'm saying? And until they feel humanized and feel that their life matter. You know what I'm saying? We can sit around and judge people for whatever. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing we can't do is totally understand their personal experience. You know what I'm saying? Collectively, man, what are we and what are we trying to do? You know what I'm saying? What are we trying to do collectively as a people? Yeah, because we have resources. Hell, we spend more money in this country than any damn body. You know what I'm saying? Why don't we trust each other? You know what I'm saying? What is it that we're fighting for? Hey, as long as my family look better than your, I mean, superficial stuff like that. As long as my kids got more than your kids got, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I might not be like this person, but at least I ain't like you. You know what I'm saying? And we are caught, and that's the space that we're in. That's what we're caught up in. We try to be more intelligent than each other. When you don't have to, you don't have to speak to your pain in an intellectual way. You just speak on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Pain is universal. It's what it is. Now here we are. We got things that's happening around the world, and focus is on that, and we're being ignored. That's because we're not putting that collective voice out there. We have a voice. We have power. You know what I'm saying? The last election showed that. We have power. But we have to learn how to direct our shit in the right direction, man. And how we do that is listen to our kids. For some reason, we believe that our kids are not intelligent enough to know that they in this shit, man. So we don't listen to them, and we be like, okay, we over here. And what is it? 60, 70, 80% of them ain't not even voting. Who's the voting age? Or disillusioned about shit that's happening because their shit is not being answered. They're being bogged down. They're in the mire. And I know that because I got 3 of them with 2 spouses. You know what I'm saying? Where is the American dream, man, for them? Where is it? You know what I'm saying? They are caught in that situation where they listen to people complain. People our age or older complaining because things ain't happening, but they have the power. They can sway shit. They can make changes. They can change their community because they're living in it. But if we're not giving them things that's positive or inspirational, then we are what's up, Auntie? We still gonna be in that perpetual motion where we like, you know what? We can talk about it. Somebody else's pain. Think about what we experiencing right now. You got these MAGA Republican motherfuckers sitting around talking about equality and offended by shit and all that stuff. But when the same thing happens here, well, what did he do wrong? They question that motherfucker's character. You know what I'm saying? They put the spotlight on somebody, George Floyd get killed in front of us, and then they bring up his past and say, "Hey, man, he not worthy. He got what he deserved because he ain't worthy to be among us." That literally happened, man. That literally happened. But and those words were spoken by people that look like us. You understand what I'm saying? You know, I'm waiting for that time where we say, you know what? Yeah, we got bad actors in our community. We got bad actors, but we have a community, and that community is being affected by people coming from Latin America, not being looked at, not being whatever, but they being put in our community. And then when we say, well, man, we don't have resources here. Number one, and number two, y'all don't even listen to us. But y'all gonna bring people here from another country and say that's y'all problem. Tell me
Damon.
how messed up that is.
Okay, I get it, and that's for another show.
And I'm on my soapbox or whatever, man. I got a lot of stuff.
I get it.
I'm thinking about. What you saying, Spoke?
No.
So your answer to solving the problem, what is that exactly?
My answer to solving the problem is we have to come collectively together, man, and say, okay, we are sensitive towards what's happening across the world. Right now, the world is focused on the Middle East. The world is focused on the Middle East. But do y'all know what's happening on the continent of Africa right now? Just when you get time, check it out. You got 1 million Congolese people that done died, man. Most women and children. You know what I'm saying? But we making political arguments about the Middle East. And the answer is a 2-state solution. What's being ignored, man? What's not even being looked at? It's not even being talked about. And then I hear people on the right making arguments about ideology. Hey, man, you know, this is biblical. but this is being ignored. It's not even being talked about. It's not That's not even the strategy in place.
Okay.
So last point is I have empathy for everybody who's going through strife and struggle and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, once I pay attention to your shit, pay attention to mine because there's some over here that's being ignored.
Okay.
What you gonna put
All
funds
right.
in and money into that?
All right. Hey, bro. That is a great point. All right. And I'm going to assume what you're saying the answer is our community looking at a broader sense going on and paying everything. Let me answer. Let me just say this. Ava, what's going on, cuz? How you doing? Malika, love
Hey,
you, baby. Robin, love you too. Paul, you know what you do, man. Thank you for checking in on us. We appreciate you. Um, Make sure I get everybody who showed that support tonight because we love y'all. Now, let me just say this. To say this, my answer to that question is really into just a combination simplified. Mine is this simple fact that we've been conditioned to think a certain way about us as a community. Everybody got strong minds, but the thing about it is, if you something repeated to you over and over again, if you hear it, it's going to leak into your system, even though it may not affect you fully. It's going to leak into. That's just how it is, right? Damon, your broader sense is, and when it comes to paying attention to the world, that makes a lot of damn sense. Pay attention to what's because the answer to everything is throughout what's going on politically when we associate with everybody. That's how it is, right? But my question, Tiff, how you doing, baby girl? Love you.
What's going on, family?
what's going on, cuz?
My answer is this. Sometimes what we need to do as a community, and this is my opinion, and is more or less kind of thing that you pay attention to as a community is when you hear somebody speak to you, listen to what they're saying, even if they're being a dickhead about it. Listen to what they're saying because there's always information through communication. What I feel that our community lacks is communication and having humility to what you hear because we have been conditioned to respond to anything that we think is negative. And I don't know how to get around that. I wish I did. I wish I could say the magical thing, right? I wish I could say something magical to change people's mind, but I don't. I don't have it. So the only thing I can do is speak on it, talk about it. Feel what I'm saying? Night, I thoroughly enjoyed everything that we talked about. And let me just say this. What I enjoyed being on here with Juquarry and Damon, and we're going to address this the next time we're on this air. Damon, what I want you to do, and I'm going to put you to task, what I want you to do is talk to me about how important it is on the political front. How important it is, what you think is important to you on the political front. Me personally, I don't disagree with you, but you know what I do? I'm on a triage type of situation. I handle the most egregious and important thing first.
I agree with you.
You feel what I'm saying? Because you and I, when you call me and you talk about these things, you see, I don't dismiss you. I listen to you because I know it's important, right? But when I say to you, I get that. But what about this local thing? This thing that actually impact my family? Because I feel we have locally, I have more power over our situation than nationally. But I'm sure folks can talk to me and convince me otherwise. So I always leave that open. Damon, you know I always leave it open for you because I'm listening. Because you and I, we have a lot of conversation about it. And you're a very learning human being when it comes to that. Juquarry, what I like about you, what I love about you, is you see things in a general term. You see it. You feel what I'm saying? You see, you see it from a personal point of view. Like you want to say, excuse me, I'm gonna be a little blue with this. If you see it like, yo, man, you offended me, fuck you. That's authentic. That's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. See, I get what I do is I get so much from both of y'all. See what I'm saying? That's the whole point. That's why I love this podcast. That's why I love this podcast. So before I start talking, what I want to do, I want to shout out to Rosalind Hankins. That's my wife's aunt, and I'm very emotional about this because that is a beautiful human being. She passed a couple days ago, and she was in the 90s,
Sorry
and
to
she
hear
was
that, bro.
an example of someone who had an authentic heart, who was a beautiful human being, who always showed me love from 1990, and I saw who she was. Rest in peace, Aunt Rosie, and I give my love to the Johns family. I give my love to my wife. But let me just say this: as I've gotten older, I'm 59. What God has done for me is to see what life is really about. God bless you, look, Rosie. God bless the Johns family, and rest in peace, Rosalind Hankins, John. Right? You know, in kids' family, they love to throw that Johns in there after the last name, before the last name, Johns Hankins. But Aunt Rosie, love you. You treated my sons like they belong to you. You treated me like I belong to you. God bless you. And Sandy, Jody, Kelly, God bless you. Ashley, Corey, God bless you, God. And Shima, God bless you, God. I mean that with all my heart. Damon and Juquarry, I'm gonna leave the last word to you guys. We'll start with you, Damon, then we're gonna go to you, Juquarry.
I think it's important, man. To God bless you, man. Rest in peace. Um, Listen to my brother. I know what you meant to the family, and good job, good work. Rest in peace. Me, I think, man, it was important. is to be able to express yourself. You know what I'm saying? And be meaningful and talk about what it is that you see, not in a not in a way that you're trying to prove something. You know what I'm saying? This machismo bullshit. I'm talking about the compassion that you see in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to be angry and despondent about shit. But what's difficult is to be able to express yourself to a point where people understand where you're coming from and respect it. You know what I'm saying? Those that don't respect it never will. Those that have some idea or some semblance of some respect towards you, then they respect you and your humanity. And I think that's something to cherish. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that right there subsides that anger, especially as a black man, because we all want to be recognized in our passions and our desires. You all right, bro?
I'm good. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, man, hey, sorry for your loss, man. You know, sorry for your loss. Man, that's all I really have to do. All I have to really say, man, we have to navigate a lot of shit in our lives, but the things that we are passionate about, the righteousness in us, is what's matter. That's what matters, man. You know what I'm saying? And we put that out in the world, man, uh, through love and compassion. And all of us had the capabilities of being that, loving and compassionate, and giving a damn about each other. That's it, man.
Uh, Absolutely, man. You know, all my condolences and prayers to the Johns family. I'm sorry for your loss, and you know, I really, it's really hard for me to find the words in these situations. You know, uh, rest in peace, Aunt Rosa.
Look, I kind of dropped the ball. Chubb, Kevin, that was your grandmother too. So sorry to leave y'all guys. Now y'all to death too. I will also want to shout out to my mother-in-law, Alice John. That was her older sister. And she is I'm gonna tell you the most different thing is this. Excuse me. When you've been around people for years, you get to love them. You know, it has hit me a little harder than I expected. And Rose was 96 years old. So my mother-in-law, Alice Johns, I feel your pain because you are the matriarch. You are the matriarch, and what you did when my mother passed, you embraced me, and I appreciate you for that. Of course, I'm being emotional because old men learn how to become emotional. But the thing about it is, I love acknowledging great people. I really do, because that's important. And then I really acknowledge the Johns family. Love you guys. Rest in peace, Rosalind Jenkins. Much love and appreciation. And look, reminded me I left Nikki out. Kev, Mike, and Chubb's sister, Nikki. That's her grandmother too. This was a wonderful human being. I made it so, a little melodramatic tonight, but and Rosie deserved it. Last words, guys, before we go off live.
I'm good, bro. I think you brought it where it needed to be.
This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Tiffany, love you, baby. Malika, love you. Ava, love you.
Love you guys.
Oh, you keep holding it down, man. I understand. This is Strong Perspective Podcast. Go to the YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. We're about conversation. We're about love. We're about everything. You guys have a good night. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.